Time to cut the Geth off from the Reapers and put a stop to this madness.
The surrounding area is heavily fortified, and they have placed jamming towers to prevent orbital targeting.
Sounds like we're going in on foot.
Admiral Zen developed a laser guidance system that can cut through the jamming. It's synced to the Normandy's targeting computer.
So the Normandy launches a precision strike at whatever target I have painted? That ought to do it. Edie, this work for you?
Yes, it should enable us to make a precision strike against the Reapers.
And anything else in our way?
The Geth will quickly reconfigure their jamming towers to neutralize this technology. You should not use it before reaching the base.
I've sent the coordinates for the Reaper base.
Are we clear to go?
That Geth fighter squadron is still tearing through the fleet.
Can you hold out?
If that fighter squadron isn't taken out, a lot of our ships won't make it. But we'll do what we can. This is your operation, Commander. If you want to strike now, you've got my support.
Commander,
I gave in
Admiral
to your
Hackett is
reckless
available on
behavior
VidCom.
beforehand. The patrol fleet isn't moving.
We need to break their flanking attempt to buy our frigates time to make repairs.
And then you'll charge off again, like last time.
This is different, Ron. Unless we give our ships time to rest, we're gonna lose them.
So pull them back.
If I withdraw now, the Geth will flank us, and we'll lose any room to maneuver. I need the patrol fleet.
I gave it.
I just figured you'd be more sympathetic to someone joining Cerberus. You've never been big on aliens.
Yeah, I enlisted to kick ass.
Commander,
like everyone
I've got a
else.
lead on something interesting. Have you got a minute?
Commander, it is as we feared. Geth squadrons have begun massing on a path to intercept our live ships.
Understood, Admiral Ron. We're almost at the server. Keep us posted. What's our status?
We remain undetected on encrypted Geth channels. Resistance is likely only within the server.
Within? It's that big?
You misunderstand. Direct virtual interface is necessary to extract Geth from the server. You must enter our consensus.
You want me to virtually interact with the Geth?
That's crazy. Do you robots actually go crazy?
I'm not a machine. How do I go into a virtual world?
Cerberus conducted research on Geth-human interfaces. They called it Project Overlord. We monitored their transmissions. We have refined the interface they created and have equipment from Normandy to facilitate safe contact. We request your trust.
You wouldn't be on the Normandy if I didn't trust your intentions. But why take me?
You are an unknown. This is an advantage. Geth security is not adept at targeting organic thought processes. While we occupy the system's intrusion countermeasures, you will disable the squadrons by removing Geth from the server.
If it saves the live ships, we've got to try it.
Intervention is necessary to preserve creator forces. This platform can enter the facility undetected. We will assemble the necessary equipment before your arrival.
Wait, you're not going to... Let's set the shuttle down by the cliff.
Yes, hostile Geth fighter squadrons are networked to this server. Due to restricted resources, it is best if you connect alone.
Let's do it.
Initiating peer network integration. Proceed to docking port. Mapping to consensus. Remain still. Shepard Commander, excess movement during an upload is discouraged. Upload complete. Consensus integration holding.
What is this?
We've installed filters to allow you to make visual sense of this server's raw data. Your mind perceives our world as something familiar.
I wouldn't call this familiar. Where are you?
Here,
You look different.
we have made ourselves visually distinct for your convenience.
What about Geth already in here?
You will perceive Geth as surveillance footage, audio logs, sensor records. We do not require bodies, as our software communes. Our hardware is merely a tool. This is our true world. As we remove Geth, it will grow dark.
And what does turning off the lights do to the Geth back in the real world?
The Geth fighter squadrons communicate with platforms on their spacecraft via this server. We will sever that connection. We will destroy backup data. Consensus will be nullified. This server will be terminated.
This is like wiping out a city, isn't it?
Action is necessary. There are 2 communication nodes on this server. We must access them to disable the hostile Geth's fighters. We will safeguard your exit port while remotely monitoring your progress. Establishing connection to access point. Warning, connection blocked by infected code. Use our combat software to disrupt the infection.
I wondered what the gun was for.
This foreign code is a manifestation of the old machine signal.
You're surprised the Reapers are all over your servers?
No, continue to the access point.
Okay, I've got to ask. Why a gun?
We have noted your affinity for firearms.
Then thanks, I think.
Proceed to the access point. Establishing connection to communication node. Error. Access denied.
Is the Reaper keeping you out?
Unknown. You must investigate. Warning. Reaper presence detected. Data cluster contains infected code. We require access to proceed. We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster. We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster. Accessing data cluster.
What is this?
Data clusters contain historical data. Your connection permits streaming of information from our archives.
You really want to rename the VI networks?
Absolutely. The mobile hardware release deserves a little ceremony. Unit 01. What is the Keelish word for servant of the people?
The word is Geth, Creator Zahak.
Yes. Very good.
Ancestors, you fuss over it.
Weren't you here until midnight fixing 01's circuitry?
Well, it needed resoldering.
Wasn't that footage from the past? Why are the Quarians masked?
They are viewed for your perception. You see them as you know them now. You must disrupt the infection on this data cluster to continue. You must disrupt the infection on this data cluster to continue. This data cluster contains information timestamped 290 years ago. Creator, this unit detects no malfunctions. It is still capable of serving.
You see? It's ignoring all shutdown connects.
Please specify if it has failed assigned tasks. We will reprogram.
Well, let's take a look.
Creator, this unit is ready to serve. What has it done wrong?
Let's cut the audio.
You may proceed to the last data cluster. Accessing data cluster.
We've got escaped Geth! They're pinned!
Open fire.
One's going for a weapon!
So who won?
The platform arming itself was an agricultural unit. By opening fire on attacking creators, it saved simpler domestic Geth following it. The creators were determined to destroy our hardware. We were determined to survive. Establishing connection with the remaining server node.
Hello, Commander. Are you there?
Not as you understand it. What's the situation, Quarian?
The guest squadrons have arrived, but something is amiss. Half their fighters have stopped functioning. We will continue to hold out as long as we can.
How are we doing?
One node remains.
What's wrong?
Infection programs are increasing. We have restabilized. You must continue. Warning, the Reaper infection has learned to self-replicate.
You mean it grows back?
Yes. However, disrupting vulnerable points in the infection may slow down its replication. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. Access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. On the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed. We require access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate.
Out of the way! You can't do this to them! I said step away from the geth! This is insane! We need the geth! You can't just destroy them for asking... Time's up! Throw her in with the others.
Looks like the war wasn't popular with everyone.
A few creators attempted mediation. They failed. We cannot establish a connection without access to this data cluster. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. This data comes from the period during which the creators declared martial law.
I repeat, release the rogue Geth units and come out of the safe house. This is your final warning.
Creator Magara, this unit does not understand. It has not taken part in hostilities.
It doesn't matter to them. I need to get you out of here.
This conflict exceeds Creator's safety parameters. We will surrender our hardware if it ends hostilities.
No, it's all right. We'll go back to the access tunnel then. Oh!
Creator Magara, what is your status? Creator Magara. The Creators never formally ended hostilities. They have officially been at war with the Geth for 291 years. Accessing data. This is data from the end of warfare on Rannoch.
The Outpool is down. Do not engage the Geth. I repeat, avoid contact.
Geth pursuit is breaking off 100 clicks past Rannoch. All captains fall back to the mass relay.
This isn't happening now?
It is time-stamped 290 years ago. It is the Creator Exodus at the end of the Morning War. We had secured freedom. The Creators were no longer a threat, so we abandoned pursuit.
Wait. The Geth spared the last Quarians? You let them go?
Our future was uncertain. Our networking was primitive. We stayed within our limits. Connection with the remaining server nodes established. We are ready to transport you.
inside their ships. Admiral Hangarl's fleet is driving them back. The live ships are safe, Commander.
Route access acquired, severing all connections to this communication node. Geth no longer reside on this server. We may now exit the consensus.
What's wrong?
You must proceed to the exit port. Disconnect from the... Terminating remote access. Removing programs. Deleting archives.
Commander, you okay?
Did it work?
Geth fighters have been disabled. Any remaining squadrons attacking the live ships have withdrawn. The server is offline.
Are you sure? What's happening?
We have transferred Geth programs from the server into these platforms.
Why?
They wish to join us.
Even our machines were never this irrational.
While Shepard Commander removed the Reaper infection, we judged we could persuade hostile Geth programs to reunite with ours. We were correct. These Geth have renounced the old machines and will oppose the Reapers. They are now us.
I understand not wanting to leave anyone behind.
You accept our actions?
The live ships are safe, and we have more Geth on our side. We both did what we came to do.
Acknowledged.
Glad to hear it. Let's go.
Impressive, Commander. The Geth squadrons attacking our live ships have been completely neutralized. If there is any chance we could duplicate the feat, I would be happy to lend my expertise.
You'd have to ask the Geth we found if you're looking for other servers.
I thought as much, but your Geth claims to have no data available whenever I inquire. Perhaps you can help me with something else.
What's that?
How did you get Geth Primes to work with you?
They volunteered.
I see. Well, should you wish to examine these Geth to confirm their new allegiance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Zen out.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCom.
Commander Shepard, something you need to talk about?
Do you know how the other races are doing against the Reapers?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, the Turians are getting stretched thin, even with Krogan help. The Solarians are still hanging on to Sirkesh, but the Reapers are starting to breathe down their necks, too.
What about the Asari?
They have to be feeling the heat. The Reapers are moving fast with the obvious intent of taking Thessia. Interestingly, the Reapers are leaving Parnak alone. It's the Yogg homeworld.
Can't say that I blame them. Yogg have teeth.
Well, if we lose this war, it might be them running the next cycle. It's easy to forget the Reapers don't destroy every species.
Just the ones who can threaten them. Nothing more, sir.
Keep me posted. Hackett out.
My old sergeant told me that Cerberus started out as an Alliance Black Op.
Black Ops always go bad. If you have to...
Commander, I've got a lead on something interesting. Have you got a minute? Commander, I found something you need to see.
What have you got?
A group of Cerberus scientists cut ties and fled. Perhaps they finally realized they were on the wrong side. We don't know what they were researching, but they were among the Elusive Man's top scientists. They could help build the Crucible.
Unless they're indoctrinated, and this is a ruse to get Cerberus close to the Crucible.
I'm not suggesting we trust them fully, but it could be worth investigating.
Has the Alliance tried to make contact with the scientists?
They've been unable to find them, but they're searching. As is Cerberus. I've been monitoring Cerberus communications. I've charted signal frequency from various Cerberus cells by location and cross-referenced known ship movements.
You found them?
There's no way to be certain, but I've got a definite possibility.
Nice work. Put it on the map and I'll give it a look.
It's on the map now, Commander. Thanks.
The sinking laser needs a line of sight. What's the fastest route?
The upper entrance. Target the base before the Geth can organize resistance.
What about you?
We will deactivate defense systems and acquire an escape vehicle.
You can do that?
This unit still carries remnants of the old machine upgrade code. We can break any Geth security. You are concerned.
You know your limits. I trust you. I'm more concerned you didn't tell me about the upgrades.
You were tolerant of our recovery of Geth intelligences from the server, but this matter is different. Personal.
You were ashamed.
We were not sure you would be pragmatic enough to appreciate the tactical value of these enhancements.
I know organics haven't done much for the Geth, but I'm trying to help you.
We did not intend to cause offense.
How'd we get here? The Geth are better than this.
No. Based on empirical evidence, they are not.
Yeah.
Proceed to the upper entrance. We will exit here and procure an escape vehicle.
Got it. Hey! Good luck.
Acknowledged.
Heavy fleet has a clear path. All forward.
Geth fighter presence is negligible. Patrol fleet, break cover and engage.
Shield over the base.
The Normandy's main battle space requires several hours to penetrate that platform.
More dropping in!
We'll get through. What's your status?
The old machine system upgrades have enabled us to corrupt security routines. We are slowing them down.
Keep it up.
Admiral, get onto all ships. We've got Geth frigates inbound on the civilian fleet. Run! Keep the civilians in formation. We can't lose the live ships.
Alright, I've hit the override.
We have gained system access and are bypassing security. Stand by. Shepard, Commander, you have successfully opened the blast shield doors.
Good. We'll be back out in a minute.
Negative. The path behind you has been sealed. A nearby elevator can take you to the upper level. From there, you should have an acceptable line of sight for targeting.
From the base?
No. The old machines have not registered us.
Normandy's weapon systems are ready to sync to your target. I recommend you withdraw to a safe distance.
Any damage, Commander?
Negative. I'll retarget.
Target locked.
Shepard to fleet. It's not a Reaper base, it's a live Reaper. I need an orbital strike. Fire away! jamming chamber. Looks like a weak point when it's priming.
Damn it! The jamming towers have us targeting manually. We can't make a precision shot.
We may escape before it recovers.